Thank you again for joining today's webinar, which is jointly brought to you by ENGIE and UOB Bank. Today's webinar topic is titled Understanding Sustainable Energy Solutions for the Industry Sector. The objective today really is to talk about opportunities and challenges in decarbonization and building stronger and greener industries. We are very happy to have two experts with us today to discuss these topics. And they are Mr. Guillaume Darmayan, Head of Industry Solutions, ENGIE Southeast Asia.
40% of all the GHGs in APAC are the responsibility of the manufacturing sectors. Right now, between 2010 and 2019, we have increased our emissions by 1.8%. So we are coming from a world where we are increasing our footprint by roughly 2% per year, and that we need to reduce it by 5% per year in the future. If we start to look at the low-hanging fruits, we miss something. We need to know what we are talking about. We need to know what kind of energy we need. We need to know what exists on the market, what are the regulations, what will be the regulation, what exists around the world. That's what let's call a long-term roadmap. We need to make a plan. From there, we need to make our system more efficient. Energy is a very strategic business. It's a very strategic topic for all the countries, such as water, waste collection, and many others. It is a regulated business, and it is something where we need the support from the government, but we'll touch that point as well later on. From there, we need to make as much as possible on-site energy, which is as low carbon as possible based on the roadmap which has been drafted, to produce utilities which are centralized and which are efficient with synergies between all of us. All this production needs to be well digitalized in order to make sure that we know what we are talking about and we have the right lever to ensure that we can reach our objective. But this is what we are doing with manufacturing plants, with cities, with universities, with countries, with all kinds of stakeholders, and that this is what everybody needs to do in general in order to achieve our goal.
And next, we will have Mr. Jasper Wong, Head of Construction and Infrastructure Sector Solution Group, UOB Bank.
And look at how is the government around the region are reacting in regards to energy demand and energy supply. The government effectively is tackling it on both ways. They used to only look at the supply side, but now they're also very much looking at demand. Recently, the Singapore government has also announced new incentives and grants for energy efficiency, for instance, like the BCA, GMIS 2.0. So this effectively provide funding for retrofit works to reduce carbon emission for up to 50% of the qualifying cost. The Malaysia EE initiative is also anchored by the SEDA, MGTC, MIDA, and the Green Tech Fund. So we have at UOB, we work very closely with SEDA, MIDA, and also MGTC in tapping some of their policies and also incentives so that our customers can actually enjoy while they do the upgrade on their energy efficiency, they also get lower interest rate. UOB has actually, looking at the landscape of the region, have come out with a U Energy program, which is Asia's first integrated financing platform for energy efficiency. And last but not least, I think we all need to do our part. You know, as ENGIE has mentioned, you know, the world's temperature is rising by more than 1.8%.
The Singapore Green Plan 2030 has charted out very, very ambitious targets over the next 10 years.
Right. So Singapore is going to increase the carbon tax from $5 to $25 by 2024, and then maybe 50 or between $50 to $80 by the end of the decade. So this actually quickly brings home the issue for corporates. It's like, you know, if I'm going to continue to operate in this region, you know, no matter where you are, you will get hit. Then the question is, how do I run my business moving forward? Do I wait until I really necessarily need to move, or do I start preparing now? It's starting to converge in terms of what the whole corporate drives towards, in terms of a goal to either whether you set a net zero target for the entire company, or some form of reduction in your CO2 emission.
So there is no choice. The lawmakers needs to move in order to, for the private sector, for the public sector, and for everybody to move forward towards the neutrality. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we have discussed with clients which were trying to model in their financial models and in their estimation what will be the carbon tax. And I have seen literally companies paying $5 or $30 within the same years. So nobody really knew what was the risk of the carbon tax on their own P&L. At least now, it allows us to make long-term plan. When you know what will be the tax scheme in 2030, despite the fact that you are early 2022, that allow you to make your roadmap and your plan ahead of the next 8 years and most likely more. So it's a very, very good sign, a very clear direction that and now we need to work on a proper plan with different stakeholders, and there is no more reasons to hold it.
The time to act is actually now. I mean, don't wait until we get to 2025 or get to 2030, then we start planning, right? So even if you start planning now, actually you may only take action in next year or the year after. So if you have any requirements, feel free to reach out to us, and we are more than happy to talk to you, and together with ENGIE as well.
I'm very, very happy and very excited to see that the level of interest is there. It's a no-brainer. It's cheaper, more resilience, greener, and everybody needs to do it. But I'm very happy to see that more and more people agree with that statement and get more and more involved into that.
And so with today's rising energy prices, I think, and increasing government incentives are available, I think it's never a better time now to start the sustainability journey. So with that, we have come to the end of today's webinar. If you'd like to find out more about the sustainable energy solutions for the industrial sector or UOB's U Energy program, please check out the QR code